Welcome into the Recruiting Roundup brought to you by IBEW Local 640. I'm Claudia Collins. We're going to hear from the guys that are leading the charge on the high school football scene. I'm talking about the head coaches. They've been dealing with this rapidly changing recruiting landscape over the last several years. They've given their advice at the high school level, and some of them have been on the college side of recruitment. But the one thing that they all have in common is that if they've got a player who wants to play at the next level, they want to see them get there. So we're going to ask all of these coaches a few of these burning questions and get their advice along the way. So let's start with what separates a good recruit from a great recruit.
Number one, you got to be great on Friday night. I mean, that's where it's all at. And the college coaches are looking at that film and then talking to the resources and people around you.
You can tell just by the way they work. You know, they're the first guys there, they're the last guys to leave. You know, they're working hard in the weight room. And the biggest thing right now, whatever, is they're taking on the challenge now from a leadership standpoint. They're not so individually about themselves. Now they're wanting to give back and spread the wealth, whatever, and show how it's supposed to be done.
If you do everything you're supposed to do in classroom and you do what you can do on the field, like there's going to be an opportunity for you.
All right, so how do you know that a program is the right fit? And when is the best time to go ahead and commit?
If somebody came up to you and said, hey, here's a bag of money and it was X amount of dollars, that's no different than a college coming and saying, hey, we're going to invest this much into you. We're not D1 or bust at Bachelor. We talk about that. We preach it. There's opportunities for anybody to play, anywhere, especially with our kids. Like, take advantage of that opportunity. I mean, you can work the rest of your life. Go somewhere where you're wanted. Go somewhere and enjoy that college experience. Get the education and still play ball while you can.
Kids have the dream of playing immediately, which is very difficult.
When you get into the month of June, if you have limited Division I offers, you better jump on it and take it. Because if you wait too long and there's only one spot open, then you're done, and that closes the door, and now you have to look at other opportunities. Some of those opportunities could be lower, some could be higher. Things will happen during the season for some kids, but not as much. And you have to be open and build those relationships with the D2 and the D3 schools now. And in the better D2 programs, those kids are committing now as well. Because again, you want to lock something in because there's only so many positions available.
Nowadays with the transfer portal and NIL deals and things like that, college football is getting crazier and crazier, but it's less and less opportunities for high school kids because most of those, whether it's JCs, whether it's, the transfer kids, those guys are getting picked up, and so less and less high school guys are getting picked. So the advice I would give is if you get offers, don't sit on those offers too long because those things close up quickly.
And the last message, college football is all about the experience and the opportunity, no matter what level that opportunity is at. Here's examples of two guys who prove just that.
About experience. I had a kid at Cactus, Jojo Lagafuena, who was a stud. He had a bunch of Division II offers, but he chose the NAIA route because it was just better fit for him, more money scholarship-wise. So it's just, teaching them experiences of me as a coach and learning under Coach Zuby at Higley how the recruiting process works and being completely honest with them. Not everyone's going to get a Division I offer, but if you can go get 4 years paid for the most part, and you only have to pay a little or a small loans, that's the situation. Do you want to go play or just sit on the bench? It's just every kid's situation is different, and just educating them in that aspect is what's super important.
Joel Diaz, for our 2021 class, a great example. Unfortunately, he went through COVID, so that kind of stumbled his recruiting a little bit. Colorado School of Mines came on really early for him, which is a great engineering school and what he wanted to do. And then later in the process, there were some Division I schools that came. And so we had the conversation about, that school likes you very early. The school obviously came in, it's a higher division school, but they may not have a plan for you. And it's all about the experience that you're going to have there. Because regardless, if you go D3, if you go Division I, Power 5, when you step on campus, you're going to feel like a college football player. So in the end, it all comes down to what are you going to get, out of the 4 years that you're there. And so again, we do a pretty decent job, in our program explaining that and taking kids through that process so that they make the right choice and not just what the glamour choice is.